You know better not to touch my guns, little Brody. Oh yeah, you're cheating. Oh yeah, you don't.
I killed him and he goes, yeah, you're cheating. The Rara audio getting me accused of cheating. Look at that. You hear that? Can you hear that?
Get hunting.
Using that good old premium.
Like, why you have to cheat, bro? Like,
I'm not cheating. I got that Rara audio, bro.
You're cheating, man.
Hey, God, do you think they're slap, bro?
You're cheating. See, you're cheating. Cheater!
Yo, I can't wait to wipe your bitch ass team, bro. I'm about to wipe the floor for you guys. You understand me? Terrible play. Terrible play. Your teammate's dead, by the way.
All those clips are of different streamers using my audio. And today I'm going to teach you guys how to install it the right way. So there are no questions. You have no issues. But just in case, if you do need help, you can join my Discord. The link will be down in the comment section so that you can make sure it's all installed correctly. But this will be the best way because there's probably going to be a line to get help if you need it. So today I'm going to give you guys the full breakdown of how my audio works and exactly how to set it up, whether you have someone else's tune before mine or have no tune and want to set it up completely new. I'll have timestamps down in the description so you can skip to the parts that matter for you. And listen, if you're doing this for the first time, I do suggest watching it all the way through because you don't want to miss a step or not understand something. But like the video, subscribe, and by the way, I'm picking 5 winners over on Twitter that use the hashtag RaraAudio and submit a clip with just the best examples of the audio being used where you can hear people, you get good shots on someone, whatever the case is. 5 winners that I'll pick. So post a clip, use the hashtag RaraAudio, and if you want to add a little bit more flair, tag me in the replies so that way I can see it for sure. So first, I'm just going to assume that you may have had someone else's audio. If you've never had an audio tune before on your PC, you can skip to the timestamp on screen and get to where you need to start. But first off, if you have an audio tune, the first thing you want to do is go to installed apps and uninstall all of the things that you need to uninstall. So you can see I organized it by date installed. It's just the easiest way to do it. We're going to go through and get the ASIO bridge and hi-fi cable. Uninstall. It's going to tell you need to restart your PC. We're going to do that last. Equalizer APO. If you have it on your PC, uninstall it. Now, right here, we're going to make sure we click this box to remove configurations and registry backups. Uninstall. We're going to hit reboot later. All right, we're going to uninstall this plugin if you have it. Now, for me, I have my audio app. I'm using it as the example, but if you have ArtsTune and you have the app, uninstall it. If you have someone else's app, uninstall it. Now, the best way to use my tune is to not use Sonar, because I know a lot of people have issues with Sonar. You can use my tune with Sonar, but it's a bit of a workaround. I highly suggest just using it with Voicemeeter. Make sure we get the replugs. Now, when you uninstall replugs, you're going to see it pops up this little prompt. We're going to hit yes, and we're going to delete these folders. It's going to ask you to do this for the current items. Click, and then hit continue. Boom, they're gone. And finally, we're going to do Voicemeeter. Uninstall, uninstall, yes, remove, okay. Now, here is the final part to uninstalling everything. We're going to go to Device Manager. And we're just going to make sure in Device Manager that it doesn't show a hi-fi cable or a virtual cable, which you can see with mine, it does not. If you see when you open this sound, video, and game controllers, which is towards the bottom, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up from the top. From the bottom. When you expand that, if you see VB anything, VB hi-fi cable, VB Voicemeeter cable, right click it, hit uninstall device, and when you do, hit this box, attempt to remove driver. But we're only going to do that if it says VB cable after uninstalling everything. Then, once we make sure we have everything uninstalled and cleared, we're going to restart the computer. Once we uninstall and restart the computer, we're going to be able to download the newest version of the app. Now, the website is RaraAudio.com. A lot of people have been reporting that there is a second website that they go to, RaraAudioApp.com. That is the old app. And what I'm trying to do right now is get that taken down. See, a little backstory for you is that my old coder who made my old app completely robbed me. He took everything I made from the app at this point, and he kicked me off of the ability to edit the accounts, to cancel people's subscriptions, to renew people's subscriptions, to be able to do anything. I can't control anything. And not to mention, he's still using my name to run that app. So I'm working on getting it taken down legally. But in the meantime, make sure when you go to the website, you are going to the right one. I'm going to show it on screen in just a second, so that way you guys know exactly which one it is. But log into your computer. Now that the PC is restarted, and we're going to go to Google Chrome. And this is the website, RaraAudio.com. If your website does not look like this when you go to it, it is the wrong website. Now, you can just hit download now right in the middle. It'll download the latest version right here. And we're going to launch it. Now it's going to start downloading and installing. Now yours might ask you to sign in first. You can sign in using Discord, or you can sign in by making an email. If you want to do either of those, just go over to the website and make sure, if I sign out here, you'll see you could sign in using Discord or sign in using an email. It's that easy. Once you sign in, you'll be able to upgrade your account. You'll be able to apply for affiliate. You can see here's the affiliate program where you can make 5% for every person that subscribes using your discount code, or, well, I shouldn't say or, as well as you give a 5% discount to everybody using your code. So you make 5%, they get 5% off. It's a pretty good deal. But you can also upgrade to premium on this page and put that code in if you have one, or don't. It's whatever you choose. Just make sure if you use a code, you hit apply at the end, and you get the choices of all these. Right now, our most popular has been the 1 month $5 for their first month, and then they continue with a $15 subscription. But everybody's different. You might want to pay the least, which is the $95 plan. That makes it $7 a month, I believe, if I am doing my math right. And yeah. But now you can see everything is pretty much installed. It's just finishing up. Now, you may lose sound when doing this install process. And if you go to the more sound settings on Windows, you can see it's installed all these voice meter lines and the hi-fi cable. One thing you need to check is that you do not have any loudness EQ on your headset. This is mine. You can see no loudness EQ. If yours looks like this when you click on your headset and you see loudness EQ, turn it off. The only thing that has loudness EQ should be this Rara Audio app. Now, when you click on Rara Audio app and hit enhancements, make sure you hit settings and make sure that the release time is set to short. If it's not, change it. Put it all the way to short, hit OK, hit apply OK, and you're done. Now, we need to restart our PC. We're almost done. You can see how fast this install process is. We're going to restart, and once we're done, I'm going to come back and show you the end process. All right, so the PC is back. I'm going to log into my computer here. And now that we're in, we're going to start up the app again. Hit yes. And it's going to finish up this install process. Now, I'm going to physically show you what it's doing just so you guys know. But this part takes a minute, I'm not going to lie, but it's doing it for a good reason. It wants to make sure that everything is set up correctly. So it's going to check all of the devices and it's going to set them exactly how they're supposed to be set. Now, again, if you've never used a tune before, I'm going to explain how to set it up in game and how to use it on your computer for this last part, because this part is important. It's not as simple as just hitting install. It gets most of the work done, the hard part, and it saves you a lot of time, but there still are some, you know, things you need to understand. All right, so we saw it just now restart. And like I said, I'm doing this unedited because I want you guys to know how long it takes and really see how the whole process works. It just renamed the hi-fi cable and the voice meter cable to their proper names. It's restarting Windows Audio. It's come back again. Just about done. It's going to get rid of all of these next and just leave us with desktop audio and the hi-fi cable and then our normal headset. And this is my Elgato. So as soon as that happens, it should be finished. Also, while you're right here, if you want to check, make sure your recording devices are set correctly. For instance, my line in is my microphone, so I'm going to set that to default. But for you, desktop audio should be your default. Just so you know. That is how that's going to work. But we're just about there. There it goes. It deleted the other audios. And if you ever want to go find those, just in case you need them, right click and hit show disabled devices, and you'll see them all still there. But I have them hidden. Now, we are set up. Now, because I had the tune before, it saved some of my preferences. I'm just going to go over them real quick. So, right here, you have WDM, KS, and MME. In a perfect world, you are just setting it to WDM and choosing your headset. However, some people's computers may have a headset that is USB-C or that is wireless, and you might get static from this. If that is the case, we're going to change it to KS or MME. I suggest starting with WDM. If you get static, then go to KS. If you still get static, go to MME. Buffering speed, you want to set to 256. It's really the optimal spot for everything, has the least delay. And finally, when you first start up the tune, it's going to be set to stereo. Mine was set to 7.1 because I have the premium tune and it saved my settings. Started with 7.1 or 7.1 quiet shots, depending on which one you have. But make sure you change it. And when you change it, if you want to double check it worked correctly, we're going to go here. And I think it's important to check everything works correctly. Because if it doesn't, I'll come take a look for you in my Discord. You can join just by clicking this Discord button right in the app. And it'll take you over. But we're going to hit configure. And you can see it's set to stereo now. So if I change it to 7.1 quiet gunshots, it should, in theory, change over here. So we're going to hit configure. And look at that. It changed. Now, if you want to make sure it's all working correctly, what I suggest is open your voice meter. And you can see here, if I hit test, all of the sounds should play on this one, which this is for Call of Duty only. And you could even rename it if you want. This is Call of Duty. This is my desktop. So if I hit test, and it's about to be loud, so warning, you could see it is playing all on this line. You should not hear that subwoofer. That is working correctly. And if you could hear all of those in your headset when you run this test, the audio is set up correctly. And like I said, do not have loudness EQ on any other app or any other output device, I should say, except for this Rara audio app. And once you check it here, see, it changed. Make sure you set it to short. Apply. Okay. Now, it is set to short. It is all set up correctly. We are going to now choose our tune. Now, I have mine set to competitive. You might like a different one. I personally recommend competitive, but that is up to you. Also, just to add to a note, this audio mix switcher may not work right away unless you pick a tune. So maybe pick a tune before you even start messing with this. Just going to throw it out there. Some people have that bug. I just want to make sure it's nipped in the butt. But you are all set, except you have to change your settings in game. So if you play any games that are not Call of Duty and you want to use my tune in it, make sure that you change the output. So you can see, for instance, right here, I have it set to desktop audio. Not every game does what Call of Duty does and let you choose a output that is different than your normal Windows. So you might have to change it here to Rara Audio app. You might be able to stay on desktop audio, but I know for games like Battlefield or for games like Valorant, you need to change it on your desktop. So make sure you do so. But luckily with Call of Duty, we don't have to. So, oh, one more note before I move on. Sorry, I'm saying this now. Right here, if you leave the app open and hit the minimize button, it's going to go down here. The problem with that is that it may take up some memory on your computer. You are much better off closing this so it doesn't do anything intensive on your CPU and not affect your frames. When you close it, it actually runs in an eco mode down in your task tray. So you want voice meter and this down in the task tray instead of on your board, on your, oh my gosh, on your bar. So make sure they're in the task tray and not on the bar. Finally, we are all good to get into Warzone and check that all the settings are set up. Don't forget, I hate that I'm saying this now, don't forget to change your Discord output. Some people do not do this, but if you don't have a dual PC setup and you use a single PC setup, your friends will not be able to hear you, or I should say you shouldn't be able to hear your friends unless you change this. You're going to go to voice and video and change it to desktop audio. That way, you don't lose audio for them. All right. Now that that's out of the way, we're going to start our game. And I'm going to dial in the final settings for you so that everything is locked in and perfect. All right, so we are now in game. We're going to go to the Warzone tab because it's the easiest one to navigate. Go to settings, go to audio. And in here, there are a few things. First off, I set my dialogue volume to about 20. You could keep it at 0. You can keep it higher, but I think 20 is the sweet spot. And everything else 0 except for the effects. For your default system device, we're going to set this to Rara Audio app. We're going to do Windows default 7.1. We're going to put this to headphone bass cut. That is important because otherwise quiet gunshots will not work correctly. And make sure you do not have asymmetrical hearing compensation or enhanced headphone mode on. Both of those need to be off. Voice chat, I set mine to 100 and I set the default device to my desktop audio. So that way they are split. Now, if you're wondering, how do I know how to turn up my voice volume if I can't hear people? Well, because it's set separately to desktop audio, you can turn it up here, or you can lower the gain here, or make it louder. I think it's fine on 0. I don't want to turn it up anymore. You could even probably hear the difference when I change the audio. Now, if you're looking to hear the difference between the two, let me just show you real quick all the variations of what the audio can sound like. So, I'm going to set this to controller real quick. And I'm actually going to set this just so that it's easier to borderless. And I'm going to open my app. All right, so first, I'm going to put it on 7.1. And I'm going to show you what normal game sounds like. So we're going to set it to desktop audio. This is what the game sounds like with no tune whatsoever. And if you're ever wondering, oh, I'm playing a tournament and I need to see what the game's going to sound like, this is how you do it. So you can hear how loud that is. And you can hear how quiet that guy is. It's hard to hear. Now, we're going to change it. The audio app. You're going to hear all the environment around you get louder too. Don't worry, it's supposed to sound like that. All right. Now, you can hear the room get a lot louder, AC units, all of it. But listen to the gunshots. You could hear that dummy get up so loud. Now, one way you can test to make sure that the sound is properly EQ'd and working directionality-wise is shoot the target till it falls, listen to it get up. Does it sound like it's in front of you? If the answer is yes, then that's working. Do it again. Turn to the right. All right, it sounded to my left. Turning to my left. I can hear it on my right. And finally, behind me. I can hear it behind me. So that is how you test all of that audio. Now, here's the big one. So if I open up the audio app and I change it to 7.1 quiet gunshots, when I go back in here, you're going to hear it cut out, come back. Now listen to the gun compared to last time. Way quieter. But the sounds in front of me are still loud. My gun itself is quiet. And now I'll give you an example in an actual game. So I'm going to jump into a battle royale. And I'm going to turn off squad fill because why? And let me cut into when we're in a game. So I'll see you in a second. All right, so now real quick, I'm going to show you guys when you're jumping out and you're using the 7.1 quiet gunshots, you will hear the audio of the wind cut in and out as you're flying in. That is normal. Once you are on the ground, you should be sounding normal. Now, I heard someone hit this door right over here. Oh my gosh, I heard the door on the far side. Maybe he's right here.
Bounty targets marked. Kill them all.
Perfect example time. Heard him. Because the gunshots are quieter, if someone comes to my left while I'm shooting someone in front of me, I will hear them. You need to trust your gut, though, when you hear those sounds, because sometimes it's hard not to trust it. You know, you feel like, no, there's no way I heard someone. You probably did. This door. Oh, you hit the door on the roof.
Gas inbound.
All right, now. We know there's a guy on the roof. Just like that, they're dead. Solo quadding, baby. Oh. Can hear these guys at the bottom. And like I said, sometimes it'll sound like sounds in front of you are cutting out. It's purely because of sliding or sounds that sound like gunshots. but the benefits you get from it are pretty magnificent. But hey, it might not be for you. If that's the case, use the normal 7.1, but I do suggest the premium version with competitive. That is my honest take. Now, I heard that guy pull a shoot. I did see him.
Right behind me, right behind me. Turn around, turn around.
Wow. Yeah.
That's how you do it.